Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast, otherwise known as RBP, presented by Bolen Media. I am your host, Ross Bolen, with my co-host, Jared Borislow. Jared, how are you?
I'm doing great. Another day of producing the show by myself.
Producer Jared.
We don't call me that. I'm co-host Jbone.
It's true.
But I'm here. I'm having fun.
You're both.
Well, I'm not having fun yet, actually.
You're like Hansel from Zoolander. Look, it turns out a lot of you listening need catching up, or you're working on the backlog while also listening to the latest episodes, or recently discovered us due to a guest we had on, or me being a guest elsewhere. So here is a quick recap of the first 393 episodes of RBP, so you at least have the basics down.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's fine.
How long is it going to take us to go through this?
Just a matter of minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I started my career at a media startup in Austin called Grandex in 2011. I wrote a New York Times best-selling book. I launched this podcast and my other show, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. Then Grandex went down like the Titanic after about 6 years. So I left on a lifeboat that I built for myself in the form of my two shows and launched my own company, Bolen Media, in March of 2019. Then I found out I was getting divorced right before the pandemic hit. And along the way, we've been blessed with many amazing co-hosts. We lost the OG producer Micah to the OG company failing. Lost a couple more to the game. AJ had Jared temporarily. Chris served valiantly. And then our forever side bitch, Jared Borislow, a.k.a. Jandolph, a.k.a. he re-arrived just a couple months ago. He came and saw. And he will conquer. And already, we've brought production of all of our shows fully in-house to Bolen Media headquarters, saving us a ton of time and money and removing a massive mental health burden for me, frankly, and gotten this show back to where it needed to be so we can all laugh together and be naked and free. So welcome to the golden era of RBP that you'll tell your grandkids about. And be sure to holler at Jbone on social media at Jared Borislow and tell him thanks for having Bills back. Tweet that at him, literally. Thanks for having Bills back.
I'll respond with a skeleton gif, as I do, because I am Jbone.
Jbone. Summertime is here, Jared. It's officially uncomfortable outside in pants.
Yeah, you are a pants guy. I'm not.
Well, we know why.
Because I look bad in pants?
No, because I have chicken legs that need to be hidden from the world in pants.
So you have this thing about your chicken legs that I have about my meaty hocks.
Is that what you call those?
Yeah. I got big, fat tree trunk legs.
Those
and not
big
like
twigs there?
And not like a I do have a kind of a big, fat, dump truck ass.
Dude, you've got a donk.
But like
that's a man donk.
I have the kind of donk that's really, really, really hard to buy pants for. Buying pants for me is an uncomfortable experience.
Like, I know this for a fact because I can just reverse it, the sexuality in my mind. Like, gay dudes who are into ass, who like donk, can't not look at that. That thing is
my ass?
Heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is back there.
We talked about it, though, on twitch.tv/bossrollin. It's not toned. It's thick, but the tone isn't there. But either way,
yeah, but I told you there's like a fine line there. You know what I'm saying? It's you don't want it all the way toned because then it can't be its fully formed self.
That's true. When you tone, some of what you lose is the beauty. And
yes,
the beauty of
I agree
of the just natural,
natural donk.
Yeah,
just that fucking whammo, dude.
Guys with big asses who are not in shape like me, though, like, you know, some people have big muscular asses, and it's really easy for them to buy pants. It's not me. Like, I have a hard time buying pants.
I don't think it's easy for them to buy pants, but okay.
Things are, like, too tight in the thighs, too tight in the crotch.
It's not easy for anyone to buy pants.
The most insulting thing is that they're like, oh, well, people who have your waist size must have longer legs, right? Because, like, that happens to me all the time. All the pants I have, these fit in the ass, and then they're like 3 inches too long. And I'm not going to see a tailor because I think Taylor, it's weird that it's a guy and a girl's name, so I don't see tailors.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Shouts to one of our Twitch boys, Taylor, who just moved to Austin, by the way.
Shouts to Taylor.
Yeah.
I won't see him because he has a name that's a guy and a girl name. But.
Jared, you said you took your dog for a walk yesterday?
Yes.
And that things went strangely.
They went awry.
What happened?
Took my dog out with my girlfriend.
Did chaos ensue?
Chaos ensued. Yeah, this is a clickbait title now. So we were going just on a nice walk in the park, like you see painted, right? A walk in the park.
Sure.
And what happened was the park we went to has a lot of like trails that are kind of like off the beaten path, and like it's also built around these dry creeks that often flood, and so there's like
Serial killer's wet dream, dude.
people do get killed there.
Okay. Why are you... Okay, let's just move on.
It's a park. People get killed in every park. You ever seen Serial or listened to Serial?
Yeah. It's actually one of the things that got me into this chair eventually, oddly enough.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that got me to take this medium seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It wasn't Rogan.
And it all happened because...
somebody had to die. Hey, Jared, a lot of people had to die for me to be me. That's a Jack Nicholson quote from The Departed.
Am I next?
What?
Anyways, okay, so this part of this park, though, is that it has these like dry creek beds that sometimes flood. And so there's these like 15-foot cliffs that just kind of like you can walk through.
Sure.
And either side of you, just like 15 feet high cliffs, very muddy because it rained. We got pissed on for the last like 3 days.
Yeah, we did get pissed on.
So we're
We
walking
flash
with my
flooded.
dog. We're walking in the bottom of this dry creek bread. Creek bread. You ever have any creek bread?
Old creek bread's my favorite kind of bread. My Aunt Sally makes the best creek bread in town.
It's really good with some butter and a little bit of honey on
Little
there.
Minari.
You take a little bit of dirt, just rub it on
The
there.
dirt's what gives it its flavor.
The creek bread.
The creek bread.
My dog looks up at the top of one of these 15-foot cliffs and sees 2 dogs looking down at her,
Okay.
and she just sprints up to the cliff, top of the cliff, and we're like, there's no way she can go.
She tries to Spider-Man it.
She tries to Spider-Man it, and we're like, there's no way. She gets to the top, and then
Spider Pig.
she launches up probably like 4 feet, and she's a 45-pound dog, so like she jumps 4 feet up and jumps out of the creek bread
Yeah.
that we're in.
Yeah.
We're freaking out. We're like, is she running away from us right now? Like, we can't get there. Do you know how hard it is for us to run up an incline, then climb up a 4-foot ledge to go find our dog? We end up running toward the like cliff, and when we look up, she's looking down at us. We're like, okay, good. She hasn't left. She's kind of like being all weird because she's like, wait, what are you doing down there? Like, I'm up here. You're down there. This is weird, but I can't really jump down there right now because it's kind of a far jump.
She's like, I got myself in a pickle.
So there's this weird standoff, and we're like, oh, I guess one of us will have to like wait here with her, and one will go run around. And while we're deciding what to do, we look over, and we're like, wow, it smells really bad. Like, it smells really bad. Like, is it the mud? Because sometimes mud smells really
Not
bad.
a body.
Right? Well, it's not a body,
Okay.
and it wasn't the creek bread.
Okay.
We look up. Our dog had just rolled all around in poo.
Oh, poo-poo.
Don't know if it was deer poo. There's a lot of deer in this park. Or dog
raccoon
poo.
possibly
Human
possum.
poo. A lot of
Possum.
humans live in this park right now.
Yeah, a lot of the homeless, they tend to poo in the park.
So we just look up, and she smells awful, and she keeps like roll. I think dogs like to roll in poo, right? Isn't that a thing they do?
Yeah, every once in a while, so my dogs do it with the squirrels that shit in our backyard. They'll go find a spot. I'm not joking. They'll find a spot where the squirrels shit, and they'll do what we call derping, which is where they get on their back and they flop around like they're just living it up, like they're just scratching their own back, right? Except that it's actually that they're trying to rub fecal matter into their fur because they're disgusting animals. If you're noticing that I keep looking down to my left, it's because both of my amazingly cute dogs are asleep in one bed together, and it's the opposite of derping.
So
I also derp, I should note.
it's not a fun experience when your dog is covered in poo, and the whole ride home you have to have the windows down and the outside air on because your dog smells like poo and is covered in poo. And we washed her off very clean, but the smell was
lingers
lingers
in the nostrils.
Bad.
You know, people who listen to this show and don't listen to Oysters, Clams, and Cockles don't know this, but on our a recent Patreon recording, in fact, for our Sopranos coverage on patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles, we had a third-party canine in the room with us, not just Bruce and Bella. And that third-party canine, I won't say names, took a huge, huge steaming shit about a foot from where Jared is sitting right now, 2 feet, let's say, and right on the cord for the camera, too, in the middle of the show. And I tried to make my co-host Barrett Dudley power through. God bless him. He did his best, but he didn't make it long because that thing smelled so bad that even after we had removed it from this room and cleaned it up in this room, and this room didn't even smell, there were other areas of the house where you could still smell it. And it was like, it's one of those things where like a really rancid shit of any kind, really, human, raccoon, dog, homeless, or otherwise, it can get stuck in the nostrils. It can burrow its way up into your fucking nose molecules and just feast.
You know how they say sometimes you can crack your back if you've done acid and you trip
And
again?
you have like some kind of, flashback, which is obviously a wives' tale, by the way.
Yeah, but it's the same way that
Don't
happens.
crack my back, Jared. We'll find out real fast.
Sometimes if you sniff really hard, some of the poop will make its way out of the burrow and you can smell the dog poop again. I hope you didn't smell it.
Take it in, folks.
Yeah, that was weird. That smelled really bad.
Yeah, poor Barrett.
Yeah.
Poor Barrett.
I was like, wow, it's kind of weird he didn't last long. He stood up within a matter of 10 seconds and I smelled it and I was like, oh my God.
It's funny, he started the episode the happiest I've ever seen him, finally only having to drive about a half a mile to get to the studio because he lives in my neighborhood, basically. And by the end of the show, I could tell that this was the least happy he had ever been finishing an episode that we've ever recorded together, and we've done literally about 500. So I want to apologize publicly to Barrett.
I hope he hears this, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking about furries, as I often do, as it relates to summertime. And when I say furries, I mean people who have an interest in anthropomorphic animals or animals with human qualities, so they create their own animal character known as a fursona, which functions as their avatar within furry communities. And I was thinking about how they have to absolutely fucking hate summer. Like furries have to despise summer. To quote Ace Ventura, it's kind of hot in these rhinos. You're just sweating your absolute tits off in there dressed as a Care Bear or whatever, trying to catch the pipe or whatever the female version of the pipe is, the triangle, like trying to catch the triangle, like that little instrument that you hit with the tiny drumstick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, high school mascots. Someone do a Venn diagram of high school mascots and furries and the qualities they share and don't share, please. They both have to deal with the heat, both literally and figuratively. That's as far as I'm willing to take this on my own.
Both extremely horny. Because one's a high schooler and one's a furry.
Yes, I would assume your sexual libido needs to be in a heightened place to even take part. Well, you know what? No, I bet that's not the case. I bet furries experience the same sexual issues that the rest of us do. But you have to think, you've got another gear. If you're willing to go in there and be, like Barney while you fuck.
I mean, as long as you have some Blue Chew, right?
BlueChew.com, code RBP for Diamond Hearth Boner. We should do a real sponsor read. Would you like to?
Yeah.
Jared, what if I told you we have a sponsor that will sell you shorts that you can go to the beach, swim in, and or work out in and play disc golf in while making love to a forest nymph?
That sounds unbelievable.
Birddogs are back with the summertime. Hit birddogs.com and use the code RBP, and when you order the most diverse and comfortable shorts in human history, you'll also receive a pair of Birddogs rubber ventilated shoes.
Wait.
Yeah,
what?
they're like like Crocs.
Deal sleds.
Yeah, but apparently they can't just call them that for legal reasons, which is interesting to me. I'm interested in the law. I have Birddogs rubber ventilated shoes, and they're the best goddamn rubber ventilated shoes I've ever owned, which puts them right on par with the Birddogs shorts with the built-in underwear, so I can just throw on some Birddogs, take Jared out back, spank his tight little ass, and start my day.
What?
Birddogs.com, code RBP. Change your life today. Stop being a loser and start being a winner with Birddogs at birddogs.com. Use the code RBP for free rubber ventilated lawn cleats to do your yard work in, pussy boy.
Lawn cleats.
Jbone, I was doing some house chores earlier, as you saw. Doing some dishes, some vacuuming, some laundry.
Yeah.
And people don't know this about me, but I'm not I don't cook. We all know I'm not a good cook, so I clean. I'll do the dishes. I like doing the dishes, frankly. The point is I was doing chores and it got me to thinking how as a little kid when you bitch about chores, you have no goddamn idea how real the game gets as an adult. Like Jared, what's the worst chore you had to do as a little kid? What was the chore that you were like, fuck? Or did you even have to do any? Which would just further drive home the point.
We did have to do chores.
You and Jeffrey?
Yeah, and my sister, Jamie.
All J's, huh?
Yeah.
Just Jaying off in that house, your parents were?
We didn't
call it that?
No, we didn't call it that,
okay.
No. My chore that I had to do, the one that was like my thing, we had a glass kitchen table, and every night I had to wipe off the kitchen table, right?
Okay.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
I also really liked doing trash. But I hated doing laundry because I hate folding laundry.
Is trash slang for some kind of drug?
No, I collected the trash from throughout the house and put it in.
You hated doing trash?
No, I like doing trash.
Why was there just trash throughout the house?
Trash cans?
Okay. Oh,
in the
from the
different
trash
rooms?
cans. You
Yeah.
hated getting them all together, having a, okay.
No,
I
I
got you.
liked that.
Oh,
I hate laundry.
laundry. Yeah.
I like trash doing. Folding is my least favorite thing
This
ever.
is a real stickler for some people, for some folks. They really, 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 really hate laundry, like to the point that they put it off for so long that it becomes hilarious. I think now we've got a puking situation here. We've got Bella's throwing up.
Bella's, is she going to do it? Oh, she did do it. Yes.
Nope, she did it. You know what? I think we're going to be fine here, Jared. I don't think that's going to smell.
I don't think it is either.
I think we just power through.
I'm down.
All right, we're doing it. We've got so far, I think we've done 4 episodes in Bolen Media headquarters. We've done 1 with a giant steaming dog shit in the corner, and now Bella has thrown up what looks to be like a little bit of her most recent meal, pretty well preserved.
I see some carrot.
I feel bad for her. She might be going for a round 2 here. Oh, she is. She's doing. Yeah, poor girl. God love her. Bella, get back in bed. Get back in bed. You're sick. You're sick. Get back in bed. Hey, Jared, you know how your parents named all... You know how your parents named all you to start with J's?
Yeah.
You know Roger Clemens, right?
Yes.
You know, Roger.
The Rocket.
The Rocket. Thank you. God, I was struggling. I was like, I was about to call him something else.
Roger. The Roger.
Roger the Rabbit. I've got a poster of Roger outside by the front door. You may have noticed it's signed. It says, "Best wishes, Roger Clemens." He wished me the best. And I'll be frank, I believe that's why I've received such blessings in my life, because of Roger Clemens. Thank you, Roger, for that.
Didn't you get that at a pool party?
So, no, I got it as a small child. I went to school with his children, the Clemens family, and they were all named with the letter K to symbolize for strikeouts, because, you know, he's a douchebag. And I'm wondering what your parents' reason was. What was the J for?
I actually can explain this. So my parents like the name Jamie for my sister. They like the name Jeff for my brother. And then they were going to name me Benjamin.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Right?
And then what happened? You popped out and they were like, nope. That's a Jared.
You don't think I'm a Benji?
I don't think you could be anything but a Jared.
Well,
you define the very name for me.
In a good way?
Yes.
Oh.
Name another more influential Jared.
Jared Fogle.
Some are thinking Kushner. You're an idiot.
Jared Fogle.
By the time Jared's done. The Subway guy?
Yeah.
How is he more influential?
More people know who he is.
That doesn't make him influential. It just makes him a pederast.
He influenced a legion of pederasts.
You've influenced a legion of...
bonehead bozos.
And disc golfers.
But anyways, they were like, we're going to name him Benjamin. And my parents were friends with my mom's doctor. And he was like, why would you not name it also a J if the first 2 were J's? And they were like, oh, okay. We'll name him Jared.
Wow. They were easily influenceable.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mowing the lawn was probably the worst chore I had to do as a kid.
Oh, you mean like trimming
my pubic region.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mowing the actual lawn, because in Houston it was hot as shit, right? But I didn't have to do it that often, truth be told. That was like a punishment my dad rarely pulled out, and I also enjoyed it when it wasn't so hot that it was miserable, because, like, frankly, mowing the lawn is cathartic, which just goes to show how weak little kid chores are compared to adult.
Yeah.
Like, doing the dishes, I fucking enjoy. Little kids are like, I don't want to do the dishes. Folding laundry, like... Nobody trusted me as a kid to actually do any laundry, and I don't think I ever learned to fold mine until college, so shouts to my mom for spoiling the kid. But, like, that's not that bad. I know that a lot of people really hate that one, and it really rubs them the wrong way, but, like, consider the adult chores, Jared. Taxes. I'm having to deal with that right now. Digging through fucking emails from the entirety of 2020, trying to find, like, the $20 donation I made to somebody's GoFundMe at some point because their dog got hit by a car. This is hell. Voting? Have you been voting lately, Jared?
I voted, 2 days ago?
It's a nightmare out there.
You just need to go to the right polling location. A lot of people don't know this.
I know.
Go to the out of the way
one. It's just
one.
the neurotic voters, though. That's the problem. It's not even the lines. It's not even how long it takes. I don't care. It's just it's no matter how many of them there are, they're there and they're neurotic. And then there's the overly calm voting management team there. What's their fucking deal? Every one of those people acts like they're like 3 Xanax deep. Maybe you have to be to do that job. I think you do. People are awful. Anything where you have to deal with other people all day, you should be paid twice as much as whatever you're being paid. Teachers 3 times. Doctors, You're good. No more raises for doctors.
You hate doctors.
Yeah, I do. Except your dad. I tell everybody that.
Yeah.
Every single doctor on this planet can kiss my left nut, except Dr. Borislow, who I respect and love and see as a genius.
Thank you. I'm happy that he's not even your
I tell people he's my general physician.
Yeah.
My general physician, and he's like a gastroanthropologist.
Yep. He's a gastroanthropologist.
Nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Paying bills. That's a chore. You got to sit down, open fucking envelopes. If you're a moron like me who doesn't have auto pay set up. I don't like auto pay, Jared. I don't like putting in my credit card information and just every month they take whatever I fucking owe them. I don't like that. That doesn't seem like the way anything should work. So I refuse to take part in it until I finally check one eventually, like the gas bill that I haven't seen in 6 months. And it's like, 8 times more than it should be because I'm backed up on overcharge fees, late fees. And then I'm like, fuck. And then I finally give them my credit card because it's only like $10 a month. But there's like 56 things taking $10 a month from me.
Yeah, they should combine these. It should be like, hey, here's the bill, capital T, capital B, the bill. And it's like
Trademark, copyright.
Everything
Let's
combined.
do this. Bolen
right?
Media. We're shifting.
Wait,
no more podcasts. Shut it down.
You're Bill Bolen. You're the Bill.
Oh my God, the branding does itself.
Hey, do a commercial right now. I'm flipping through commercials. I'm flipping through channels. Oh, I just landed on this channel.
Hi, I'm Bill. And at Bill.com, all of your bills are in one place where you only just put in one credit card and you can see every fucking thing that you're getting charged and you don't have to worry about any of this shit anymore. And now that I'm thinking about it, this is my bank feed. We just canceled our company. Now Bill.com is a porn site. End of commercial. Yeah.
I probably would have gone to a different channel halfway through that.
All right, sorry. But like adult chores are ass. They're literally doing everything. Cleaning, feeding yourself, making money at your goddamn job, making sure everybody stays alive. Little kids don't have to do shit, man. If you're like 16 and listening, go do some fucking chores. You have no goddamn idea how good you have it. I talked to 3 different kinds of therapists last week just to maintain. I don't want to do the dishes, Mommy. Get your ass in there.
Dishes are kind of fun. All right, now, Shitto, noted guest of the show, has a bit where he has people send him in really, really cluttered dishwashers, and he approves them. He goes, that looks great.
Oh, you mean the organization of the dishwasher? Well, Jared, do I have a bone to pick with you? The man they call Jbone, Bone Zone Brigade leader. What the fuck's your deal, dude? I went in the dishwasher the other day and I was like, God, Jared, this is either you or Zuli, and I don't think it was her. It's you.
I did what?
No one does them the same. You're not allowed to put dishes in the dishwasher. You just have to leave them in the sink.
That sounds awesome.
You had like a cup in an area where I was like, how in the fuck would anybody put a cup here?
Where?
I don't know. One of the areas that wasn't for cups.
If the end point of this is that you're gonna just do the dishes, then I say I apologize and feel free to just do that shit forever.
I can't believe Bella just puked on the floor twice in the middle of the show.
Yep.
And now she's just sleeped.
It doesn't smell.
It doesn't smell. We won, but still, it's strange.
Now, I want people to, in their head, have a visual. Like, she puked in the middle of me and Ross. We're each about 10 feet away from the puke. We're nowhere near the puke, right, Ross?
Yeah, it's totally not right there.
Totally not, about literally 18 inches from my right foot.
I can't stop looking at it. I just can't. Anyway, do your chores, kids.
Do you know what's a good chore? Cleaning up dog puke from a podcast studio.
Yeah, nobody's going to come do this for me. That's why I can't wait to have kids.
Hey, Chipper. You're going to name your kid after Chipper Jones. You love Chipper Jones.
Yeah. Hey, Chipper, get your ass in here and clean up this puke. Daddy and Jbone are doing a podcast.
Okay, so Roger Clemens
work.
Named all his kids with K's because he's a strikeout douchebag.
And racist.
What would you do if you were going to name all your kids the same first letter?
The joke, Rogers' legal team. Well, I think it goes without saying the letter Q. Because my fearless leader, QAnon guy. What's his name? Ron?
Ron Watkins. So now here's another question. Name 3 names with Q.
Quasimodo.
You're not naming your kid Quasimodo.
The fuck not, Jared? Love that movie.
He's a hunchback. You don't want to speak that into existence. Nothing wrong with hunchbacks, but like, seems like a tough life.
Like you don't want to wish it on your kid, you're saying.
I don't want my kid to live in a bell tower.
I want my kid to live in a bell tower. I think that's a challenge that somebody needs to overcome, and he's the one.
Quasimodo.
I was too privileged. My kid must pay for the sins of his father.
Quasimodo is a simp living in a bell tower. That's all he is.
Yeah, but he eventually he was a simp. He had to give the girl up to like the regular handsome dude, and that was people have called that movie insensitive now.
I mean,
it is kind of fucked up.
If you look closely enough in the bell tower scenes, you can see the corner in which he jerks off all the time.
Yeah, it's just covered in quasi.
There's got to be something that quasi.
Come on, brain.
Quasi yogurt.
Somebody listening's got it.
Yeah, if
got a good one.
If you have a good Quasimodo, come
just joked. Good Quasimodo.
Tweet it at us at the Ross Bolen podcast,
and we'll retweet you
at Ross Bolen Pod on Twitter.
Ross Bolen Pod
at the Ross Bolen Podcast on Instagram. Will we retweet that?
Yeah. Fucking A.
Quasi Froyo.
Fucking Quasi's Froyo. There it is.
There's something better. Anyways.
Oh, chores.
Quasimodo, Jared. Quentin, Quinn.
California love. Coles?
That's our the cue.
Yeah. Oh, let's do business, shall we?
Oh, yes.
This episode of RBP is also brought to you by Liquid IV. You may have been noticed I've been drinking out of my Liquid IV water bottle this entire time that's filled with Liquid IVs.
Hydration multiplier.
Hydration multiplier plus immune support to maintain and strengthen your immune system. Jared, when we push our bodies hard or we're just feeling run down, it's extremely important to take care of ourselves with the proper vitamins and nutrients. You know this, I know this, we all know this. When you record 17 podcasts a week like Jared and I, it's imperative that you stay both hydrated and healthy. Nobody wants to be running around sounding like a sick boy on the microphone. Shouts to Austin Allergies for giving me that cough a second ago. That's why we both crush Liquid IV each and every day. I drink them before recordings, before runs, during recordings, before workouts, to make sure I stay hydrated and healthy on the day today, giving my body the tools it needs to fuel the beast. Get your Liquid IV hydration multiplier plus immune support in bulk at Costco or order online and get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code ROSS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using promo code ROSS at liquidiv.com.
I drink this stuff.
This shizzle.
I censor myself, you know. You gotta be brand safe. I drink this stuff
Pussy.
every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Every single day, Jared.
And
every goddamn day.
It's good.
Goddamn day.
Especially in times like these, it's important to have a good immune system.
Times like these.
Sometimes, you know, especially when you're, you know, podcasting near hazardous waste sometimes.
It's times like these you learn to love again.
It's times like these I learn to love immune support.
Exactly. Fucking love that remix from the Foo Fighters. Shouts to Dave Grohl. Jared, as everyone knows, we are TikTok viral gods thanks to your TikTok strategy implementation. And shouts to our interns.
Yes.
Bolen Media to Mars, baby. And as such, we like to keep our older listeners in the loop with everything going on in the TikTok world in terms of Gen Z buffoonery that the boomers can't possibly understand. And in some cases, the millennials are even clueless. Today, I am one of them. Recently, on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast, during what many are calling one of the best episodes of this show ever recorded, Jared and our guest, it's 2 in a row, by the way, on Patreon, and our guest, Dan Regester, explained that there is now a phenomenon where these TikTokers go up to each other and go, cheers! And they double tap their arm for some reason, Jared. Is that correct?
You stick your arm out and then you do like
upside down 2 fingers to the...
I think it's like, yeah, upside down 2 fingers on your elbow.
And is the double tap like a heroin thing?
I don't think it has to be 2 taps. I think a lot of them just do like 1 or 2 and then just leave it there.
I also saw one TikToker do a transfer. There was the arm, and then she went to the head, and then she fell over. Like it was like a I'm dead thing. What the fuck is that?
So what were your first thoughts, Ross, when you heard...
LeBron James was my first thought.
What?
Yeah. LeBron says sheesh a lot in captions. So the PMT guys inevitably started making fun of him for that because it's really fun to make fun of LeBron, and he's very mockable. Bruce, I don't know why you're staring at me like that, buddy. You want to come up here? You trying to come up here? So that's what it makes me think of is LeBron and PMT. And you know what? Frankly, I'm a sheesh guy. I say sheesh. Like when I see somebody, I'm like sheesh.
But you don't say it like this.
But not like this. Yeah, not like these kids are saying it. Sheesh.
I have it written. If you're watching on YouTube or the clip, I have it written behind me.
Sheesh.
Right here.
Yeah, I don't say it like that. I'm completely unfamiliar with. Is it like an ice in my veins, like Steph Curry NBA celebration thing, like the upside down arm? Like
somebody I feel like told me what it might be in reference to, but I don't remember.
Anyway, point is that y'all were explaining to me what this is and why people do it. Why the TikTokers sheesh each other. And it's like they're hyping each other up.
It's a call and response. If you see your boy on the street, you go, sheesh, and he looks back at you and goes, sheesh.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like only like you wouldn't just do it to like no. It has to be somebody that you're like you're stoked on.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Somebody you respect or
Yes.
like a lot. Like yeah.
It's kind of like saw dude, like saw it.
But the element of it, like when I say sheesh, it's like if I saw you were rocking like some badass shoes and I was like sheesh, like that's how I use sheesh. So I'm not gonna sheesh you and give you the double tap on the arm unless you've earned it.
What does one have to do to earn that?
I think for me, it's just wear dope shoes.
Mm. I kind of like it though. This is the most famous soundbite. So people do it like they actually say it, but a lot of TikToks take this exact soundbite and have it play in the background, and that's like what they use. There's another really good one now.
So it's how they say hello to each other, boomers and millennials who are confused. And if you hear this in the street, just go about your merry business. You don't have to bother with these TikTokers. If you feel like throwing a sheesh back, you know what? It's probably like, you know, it's like you trying to dap somebody up and look cool. Just walk away. You're not gonna pull it off or do a normal handshake.
Yeah, another really popular sound on TikTok right now is
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
I love that. Absolutely love that.
I actually don't think anybody's ever done that on TikTok, but maybe that should be our TikTok craze.
Jbones soundboard is completely out of control.
It is.
Back to you, Jared.
What's
Back
that
to
one?
you, Jared.
Back to you, Jared.
Back to you, Jared.
Please clap.
I need to. So I'm gonna do a new thing soon. Okay.
Okay.
The soundboard is just getting here, just getting ready. It's just becoming a thing. I'm gonna start doing a thing where every episode I add in one new sound. We're gonna have Jbones sound of the episode.
Yes. I love that.
I'm teasing it now. Little tease,
A
little slap and tickle, and a little stroke.
slap. Stroke.
But I don't really know how I'm gonna decide what they are, but it's gonna be a thing. Get ready, folks.
I hope that everybody in our older listenership feels more in touch with the youngsters in our listenership now. We all share the sheesh together. Sheesh. This episode of RBP is also brought to you by Cuts Clothing. Fellas, the sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and wardrobe. Your fits need to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so that you look good, just as good as you feel. And for that, there's Cuts Clothing. They've taken a classic men's fashion staple, the plain tee, and refined it. Jared, this is the most phenomenal t-shirt in the world. The literal only reason I'm not wearing one right now is because they were all in the laundry that I was speaking to doing earlier, because I had them on all weekend. They're very, very comfortable. They're incredibly well cut, as the name of the company might infer, and they look great. And that's the thing. The best thing about these Cuts shirts especially is that you can wear them to the boardroom, the bar, the gym. Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. They take a plain tee, but make it Tony Stark. The bleeding edge of fabric technology meets the man confident enough to wear it. Cuts Clothing. In 2016, their founder, Stephen Borelli, set out to create the perfect t-shirt, one that complemented every occasion, and the end result is what GQ magazine calls the only shirt worth wearing. It's a bold new take on a classic design, combining the ultimate blend of high-quality fabrics. It's the perfect t-shirt accomplished. Entrepreneurs, mavericks, athletes, podcast hosts, everyone loves Cuts. They're echoing GQ. It's the only shirt worth wearing. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's office leisure apparel for the sport of business.
Biznass. We're doing Biznass right now.
You got a business. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/RBP. They also have phenomenal hoodies. I've been wearing them all the time. Bella's saying hello to Jared. They're great. Get 15% off. cutsclothing.com/RBP. 15% off, the only shirt worth wearing. All right, so there are a couple things here that I need to discuss today, and I'm choosing to force them into an insane headlines of the day segment as the format for which to do so. So, first one is this. Here's your headline. T-Pain didn't check his DMs for 2 years. So, you know how in Instagram there's the section of your DMs that automatically show, and then there's the section that is
Requests.
So T-Pain didn't know about that other section, and it turns out, this is funny, because when you're T-Pain, you're being hit up by A-list artists routinely trying to work with you. A lot of them don't have your cell phone number, and for those of you who are really plugged into pop culture, these celebrities have to constantly change their cell phone numbers for one reason or another, whether it's a member of their crew becomes disgruntled, they had the number, now they're out, or somebody leaks it online, or they accidentally do a tweet with it in it, or they post a screenshot of something on Instagram containing their cell phone. There's a million reasons. They're always having to change them. So people get at each other in the DMs. Like, it's a very common way for celebrities to communicate with each other. And in the case of the celebrities that have the blue check marks, it makes them super easy to identify each other within those DMs. So even if it was like you get 50 million of them, you can still see who's important versus who's not in terms of your celebrity status. So
a lot of celebrities use the DMs in order to see if people want the pipe.
They do. J.R. Smith, most notably. And the triangle as well. Females use it.
Yeah, do you want
for that purpose.
You trying to ring the triangle?
Trying to ring the triangle, baby. Trying to ring this. So T-Pain didn't check his DMs for 2 years. This news breaks in. It's already changing things. Like, he put up an Instagram today of him working with Jamie Foxx already. He was like, check your DMs. This is what... Oh, Bella's throwing up again. Oh, for the love of God. Are you okay? So I'll explain for the listeners who are probably concerned at this point. My dog Bella is one of these scavengers. She thinks she's a squirrel. So she goes into the backyard and she digs up the squirrel's acorns and then she eats them. The problem with that is that they sometimes contain little worms. They make her stomach upset and she pukes up her food for the day. And this has been going on for, I'd say, 3 years since she picked up this habit. It's one of those things. You know how, I don't know if Millie's done any of this yet, but like, your dog has stuff that it does. And that you're like, well, that's a very unique characteristic for your dog. Like, Bruce used to rip up leaves into little pieces. He wouldn't eat them. He'd get them, rip them up into little pieces, and I would call him a scientist. I don't know why. And Bella, one day, decided that she would start eating food off the ground, like, based on his behavior, but he wasn't ever eating it. So she eats acorns, dirt, sticks, little sticks. She'll chew up pretty much anything and eat it if she's allowed to do her own thing outside. So I can't let her do her own thing outside unsupervised that often, because what ends up happening is in the middle of the night, like last night, or in the middle of my podcast, like right now, she pukes all over the place and then I have to clean it up.
How old is she again?
8.
She's an older gal.
She's getting up there, but she looks exactly like a puppy. So people are very confused by that, but she is in fact now both of my dogs, as of Bella's birthday, April 1st, so as of a little over a month ago, now they're both 8. They're both technically seniors.
Wow.
Yeah, they had their senior appointments, which whoever invents the dog cure for aging, I need you to fucking get up, step your game up, bro. Quick, fast, get on it.
So she eats acorns.
Yeah, and then she pukes.
Huh.
Great characteristic of a... And you'd think like after the first time it upset her stomach to the point that she, ruined a meal for herself and puked it up, that she wouldn't do it again, right?
Yeah.
Jared, this is just my life. It's every day.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one of Millie's trends, Millie's young, she's like a year and a half. I'm hoping one of her traits isn't rolling in poo, as she just did yesterday.
That would be the worst one possible, rolling in poo.
People need to understand, and I'm sure you know this, but when your dog rolls in poo, it takes an hour to clean the dog, right?
Millie's a big furry girl.
Yeah.
She's a big furry beast.
Luckily, my girlfriend did the bulk of it. She's better at cleaning the dog.
She's a champion.
She's great at taking care of the dog. She's a very good dog mom. Better dog mom than I am a dog dad. I'll admit it.
Very man of you to admit that. Very not toxic.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm very happy for T-Pain, and this should serve as a reminder to all of you to check your DMs. You never know what's going to be in there.
How many years back is T-Pain from where he could have been right now?
Dude, technically, a DM is how we got our book deal that I wrote, the book I wrote. Technically. That was the only DM that existed at that point. So, yeah, you should check your DMs.
Considering, if you watch the video, it just keeps going. He keeps scrolling. There's 70
oh my God.
plus people, famous people
of
in there.
Just blue check marks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Famous people.
The most famous people in the world, not some C-list celebrity. It's not Kathy Griffin was sliding up in there or something. It's fucking Jamie Foxx, bruh. It's fucking LeBron James and shit.
It's not John Lovitz.
It's not John Lovitz.
That's the ticket.
Isn't he the ghost of John Lovitz?
He's not dead.
Is he not?
There's no way John
Well,
Lovitz
dead
is
or alive?
Wait, look him up. Is John Lovitz dead?
I guess I can find
that's
out.
the ticket.
Why is that your John Lovitz go-to line?
It's the only line I know of his. He was also in Rat Race.
Yeah, he's only 63. He's awake.
The scene in Rat Race where he's driving the Nazi car down the highway.
That's some funny shit. That movie is low-key. That movie is low-key hysterical.
That's one of the funniest movies of all time. Think about the cast in that. You have John Cleese, John Lovitz.
Okay. You're doing it.
Mr. Bean,
You've got this.
Amy Smart, Breckenmeyer,
Wow, this is an impressive list.
Whoopi Goldberg, Kathy Najimy.
Jared, how many times have you seen this movie? He's going off the top. He has no phone, no computer.
Oh wait. Then there's a weird guy with the time. Oh, Seth Green.
Yep, Seth Green, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh yeah, Cuba. Who else? That's it. That's all I got. But it's pretty good. I had it on VHS.
I don't know
watched
who
it
you
a
said and
lot.
who you didn't, but you got most of them. Man, that was impressive.
I watched it a lot growing up on VHS.
Yeah, it was weird. That was
There
a
ain't
weird.
nothing but a little rat race. Oh, remember, don't buy a pet squirrel.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. The other headline: Disneyland reopens. Disney freaks cry literal tears of joy. Jared, you wanted to talk about. You're from Florida, not Wisconsin, as I have often claimed. As such, you're very familiar with Disney freaks. Explain to the people what I mean when I say Disney freak.
Okay, so Disney World, obviously, in Florida, Floridians get a discount to go to the parks all the time, whatever. There is
no big deal.
and this is not just a Florida thing. There's just more of these people in Florida because it's cheaper to go to the park if you're from Florida, and people live near the park, so they go there a lot. There is as everybody knows, a subculture of humans whose identity is Disney.
No, not everybody knows this, though. That's why I'm having you explain it. So just like there are people who are furries, just like there are people who are obsessed with Marvel, just like there are people who... there's like Disney fanatics who Disney is their thing.
Yep.
And I'm aware of this because I know one of these.
You do?
Yeah, I know one of these.
Oh.
It's a female, and she's very attached to Disney as a brand.
Here's how you can spot Disney fanatics in the wild. Somebody who you might not have noticed they're a Disney fanatic, bumper stickers. Any Disney bumper sticker, they're a Disney fanatic.
Yeah, you would not have a bumper sticker on your car that was representing the Disney Corporation unless you were a Disney freak.
Number 2, any piece of Disney clothing. A lot of times this is like Mickey or Minnie Mouse, Goofy, Pluto, Donald Duck.
Yeah.
That's a big sign. And I'm not saying they wear this a lot. I'm saying if they own it.
And can I say something? When I say freak, I don't mean that as a derogatory term. Like I'm a freak at podcasting. Jared's a freak at having great legs. You know?
That's the
like
best
you can
thing.
be LeBron's a freak at basketball. You can be a freak and it's you know, like Jared's a freak in bed. That's where it was.
Yeah,
There
see,
we
that
go.
would have
that
it
was
took
it.
you too long
that
for
was
that.
it. Fuck, stupid ass.
So
brain.
the number one way to spot somebody though is either at Disneyland or Disney World.
Sorry, brain.
If you are somebody who's in the park and you wear the ears, either Minnie ears or Mickey ears, that's a Disney fanatic.
Yes, and it's the older they are, the more likely it is that Disney fanaticism has gone to an unhealthy place.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong. Anybody under the age of 14,
Here's the
it's
thing,
not,
Jared.
it's not weird.
There are like, and I don't mean this. I don't know how I mean it. There are a lot of hot girls who do this, like they grow up, you know, and they like still go to the park and they still wear the ears and they're weird about it, you know. And when I say weird,
Yeah.
I also don't mean it in a negative way. I will never say anything that I mean in a negative way. Let's just blanket statement that. Leave me alone.
We'll start every podcast with that PSA.
Anything I say, some of these words, they may come off as offensive or perhaps even mean. They're not. They're in fact the opposite. This is what Trump does. It works. I don't know how, but it does.
But yeah, so there's
So
people,
the park's reopened.
parks reopened, and these Disney
freaks-
fanatics
Freaks.
cried on the way in
Freaks.
because they were so happy.
Okay, but like very emotional releases. And here's the thing: when you really break it down, these Disney freaks, they've been denied their homeland almost, like their Mecca, right? For so long because of COVID, that it is a very emotional homecoming
It's
for
a
them
pilgrimage.
to return back to the place they call Disneyland or World, and to really, relish in that moment of true freedom.
People talk a lot about, you got Wall Street, you got Main Street, right? Big business, small business.
Yeah.
Then you got Main Street USA, and that's Disney people.
What does that mean?
That's when you enter Disney. Main Street USA is the street you enter.
You don't
in on.
enter Disney. Disney enters you.
Yeah, well, either way. When you enter the park, the street that you enter on is Main Street USA. It's got all the really expensive stores. So you buy like a Mickey lollipop for like $35. And it just is all really happy and everybody's dancing and there's like street performers and Disney's very
Do you know
fun.
how disrespectful that is, by the way, that every museum and theme park ends with a gift shop where everything is 5 times what it should cost? You know what that says to me? Hey, you're a total dumbass. And we know that you're stupid enough to buy all this stuff for way more than you should. Because you know what? Fuck you. It's like that Dave Chappelle sketch where what is the name of the copy store he works at? Cut Copy or something?
I think souvenirs you can charge more for because part of it's the experience, Like, oh, I was here.
Pop Copy. And so he's like, you may ask, why treat the customer this way? Because fuck them. That's why. And that's how these theme parks and museums do us. $45 for a fucking dinosaur toy. You price gouging sons of bitches. You know my grandma's having to fucking cough up the money for that shit? You know how much money my grandma spent on stupid dinosaur toys for me? Goddamn theme parks taking advantage.
Again, though, yes, they do make you leave through it, which is a dick move.
It's like how at the stadiums they charge you $400 for a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Price gouging.
You ever see the video of they take like the 16-ounce beer and they pour it into the 12-ounce beer cup and it's the exact same amount of beer, but the cups are just shaped different?
You know what's fucked up? That and then everything else about it. Like that whole situation is insane. Okay, you know how with like clothing, when a clothing brand sells their clothing to a large outlet, they say, but you can only sell it at this price, right? There's stipulations. These beer companies should be telling these stadiums, you can only sell these beers at this price. You can't charge people $15 for a fucking beer, dude. That ratio is insane. That's a fucking 24-pack of beer in the real world. I get one? I get like charging like 3X or some shit. But we're talking about a 24-pack. Like if a guy who hasn't had an alcoholic beverage in over 3 years, had a 24-pack right now, I could get drunk on that for like a month. You get to drink one beer for that.
Yeah.
In a stadium. That's fucking price gouging, and it's not, and I won't stand for it.
Mm-hmm.
This aggression will not stand, man.
It's what do you think is more egregious? Charging $15 for a beer or charging $12 for a hot dog?
$15 for a beer.
Really?
Hands down. Something about the look, man, at least the hot dog, it's like you're eating a nice little piece of food. It's giving you some sustenance. The beer you're just pissing that right out. I mean, it's an insane amount of money to pay for one beer. And we all do it.
Yeah.
Well, not all of us, but as a society, we've accepted this.
What I've realized kind of is like actually stadium food is really just like honoring the animal, right? Like if you're a hot dog, if you're a pig that died to be a hot dog, you don't want to be the one who died to be in a pack of Hebrew Nationals at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You want to be one who died and you're making like $800 from your meat.
You want to be a fucking $14 Big Frank at Wrigley Field. That's what you want.
And then your life was worth.
That's best case scenario for a slaughter pig.
They all go down the line and they're like, "Oh, please put me in Petco Park. Please put me in Petco Park."
Did you watch the movie or the television show Euphoria?
No.
You pay pig.
What?
I can call you that because you don't know what it means.
No.
Yeah. Instead of disgusting stadium hot dogs and beers, Jared, you know what you should pour into your body? Athletic Greens. This episode of RBP is also brought to you by Athletic Greens, the most comprehensive daily nutritional beverage Jared and I have ever tried. It's great stuff, and with so many stressors in life, it's difficult to maintain effective nutritional habits and give our bodies the nutrients they need to thrive. We've got busy schedules, poor sleep, exercise, stress, or simply not enough of eating the right foods, which is often the case for me. Jared, have you enjoyed your athletic greens?
Yes. I thought you were going to add another word there. Yes. So here's the deal. Here's how Athletic Greens works. They give you a little water bottle, and they give you the greens. Get your greens.
Get your greens.
You take a scoop, put it in the water bottle, fill the water bottle up to 12 to 16 ounces, shake it all up until it's all mixed, and then you drink it. You want to have the water be cold. Here's what it tastes like. A lot of people,
motherfucker.
A lot of people think, oh, is it chalky? Oh, does it taste like dirt? Because everybody thinks these like supplements do that. No, it tastes. If you like a green smoothie, Ross, you love the
I do
Wondershausen from Juiceland.
That's my favorite from Juiceland. Yeah,
this is even better. It tastes like a delicious green smoothie that you make at home, and that has all of the daily vitamins, minerals, and everything else you need to feel great. I drank it. What's what they say to do is you drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach.
Right.
Your body absorbs it better.
Right.
And it like sets your body up metabolically for the day or whatever.
Great success that day, yes.
I felt noticeably energized when I did it.
Good, Jared. Good. Yeah, I mean, look, frankly, for everybody who's as busy as we are and with all of our schedules getting as shaken up as they have been over the past year and a half, it is tough to get all the right foods into yourself, and Athletic Greens, one scoop contains 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients, including a multivitamin, multimineral, probiotic, greens, superfood, and more that all work together to fill those nutritional gaps that may have formed in your diet. They're going to increase energy and focus, aid with digestion, support a healthy immune system, all without the need to take multiple products, which is the key here with Athletic Greens. You simply visit athleticgreens.com/Ross today and join health experts, athletes, and health-conscious go-getters around the world who make a daily commitment to their health every single day. And you'll get a free year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs if you go today. Again, today, simply visit athleticgreens.com/Ross and get a free year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs today.
Literally, if you're somebody who likes rituals, you wake up, empty stomach, drink it. That's all the stuff you need for the day, and then you just go about your biz.
And then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're good to go.
Nice
Jared, we've got time, a little bit of extra time here. Why don't we do a hotline call or three, shall we?
Hotline call.
888-WR-BOLEN is the hotline number. You call it, you leave a voicemail. You've got 2 minutes max. Please be in somewhere where we can hear you. Be succinct. Have an idea of what you're going to say beforehand if you can. A lot of the voicemails we've gotten lately are a little bit rambly, a little bit all over the place before they bring it home and land on the runway, if you will, and you will. So when you call 888-WR-BOLEN, make sure you're prepared. Do your thing. And if you leave a good hotline call, it's likely that we'll play it on the show. So get in there. We'll play one of the ones from recently right now.
Hey, Ross and Jared. This is John from Maryland. I'm actually a molecular biologist that studies the role of iron on photosynthetic organisms.
Oh.
So when Jared mentioned that he didn't understand, or he wasn't aware the role iron played, or why your lawn needed iron. In brief, this is because iron is a principal component of electron transfer chains. These do exist in our mitochondria. However, plants need an extra dose of iron because an electron transport chain plays a critical role in generating glucose in the chloroplast. So the reason iron's so important is because it has the ability to primarily exist in two different oxidative states, ferrous and ferric, iron 2 and iron 3. So what this allows it to do is it allows it to easily pass electrons down this electron transport chain, and every time they pass the ball, so to speak, it generates energy, and this energy is what's used to photosynthetically fix carbon and provide glucose. So yes, plants need iron. The reason that they need it in fertilizer is because iron as a usable or a bioavailable trace metal is pretty hard to come by. They don't really exist in super usable states in nature, so that's why it's usually a component of fertilizer. Glad that I found something on your podcast that I could speak about. Have a good day.
Look
Iron 3. So what this allows it to do is
big brain on Brett here. I don't know why it started playing slightly again there, but thank you for your call, Mr. Scientist. I feel like I just got PTSD triggered back to high school biology class. He said mitochondria.
He said the
He said glucose.
Glucose chloroplast dioxymethyl plane.
Yeah, I remember trying to learn about plants.
Well, I know they have plant cells, not animal cells.
Get your greens.
That was interesting, though. So, yeah, plants apparently need iron. Shouts to Sunday.
Yeah, we're talking about our one of our new sponsors, Sunday. Go to getsunday.com/RBP. And me having been using it on my lawn, and we were talking about iron, and I used the iron booster, and now we've all learned why grass needs iron. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Play another call, Jared.
All right, Ross. Well, for context. From SoCal, I go to a school in Mid-Cal that has a lot of fucking kids from NorCal. And if you think that less than 1,000 people are ripping straight tobacco through a bong, you have not been to California, where there is a literal argument between what the name of a bong rip that includes tobacco exists. Sorry, babes. You understand. I'm not going to give my name for obvious reasons. I'm on a career, but just wanted to let you know. Far more than 1,000 people are taking TBalls. I personally don't. I don't even like chops or mokes or whatever you fucking call them. Garbage. Fucks your lungs up. I heard it gave a dude a seizure one time.
Good
That's
Lord.
my take.
Okay, look, I had no idea how many people were doing this. Like, y'all saw that we obviously went viral on TikTok with the 4 million views or whatever we're at this point, but our hotline calls were mostly filled with people either infuriated that we didn't know about this or perplexed as to how we didn't know about this. And this is a pretty big divide in society. This whole chops, T-bowls, rippity doodads, whatever they call them. Like
Backy cones in Australia. Shouts to the Aussies.
I've also had a shit ton of people in my DMs admitting that like they did this a lot in college and that it was undoubtedly the worst and most unhealthy thing they've ever done in their life.
Yeah.
Which is really that's a strong admission. And I know the type of person you have to be to even do one of these, and like you've got to be down for a lot of shit. And for it to be the thing that you remember as like the thing that was probably worse for you in your life is not good.
It's like, how many cigarettes do you smoke? I smoke about a half pack a week, which I do in the course of 30 seconds.
Yeah, dude, that's like a pack of cigarettes to the face, which is just fucking unnecessary. Like, I mean, I get it. For some reason, you have this like you really know that, like the self-destructive people are not hard to find in college.
Yeah.
They're just not. I was one of them, and I wasn't hard to find. You could have found me. Super easy. Super, super easy. Also, didn't know that there was a Mid-Cal. California needs to get its shit together. SoCal, Mid-Cal, NorCal. You sound like idiots.
Then there's E-Cal.
What do they call the Cal version of all the fucking people flooding our city?
Oh.
I've become completely anti-Californian now, which is funny because at least two of my favorite people in the world live in that state. At least two.
Who?
Well, Intern Serena, the artist formerly known as Intern Serena, and my aunt. But there's many, many good people in California in all three sides, mid, no, so.
My sister lives in California.
Also Jared's sister.
Shouts to her.
Shouts to her. Goes without saying.
I like California. I did a 2-week vacation there 2 years ago.
California.
Flew into San Fran, went up to Napa, went to Monterey, drove down the coast to Santa Barbara.
Oh, yeah, must be nice.
It was a good time.
Must be nice.
Big Sur, Campton Big Sur. Hung out with two French.
Did a little camping,
Yep.
did you?
Hung out with two French people there. It was cool.
Did a little camping. Back in the day when life was different, I played golf there sometimes in California.
Torrey Pines.
Played Torrey a couple times. Yep.
That's embarrassing for Torrey.
Got to visit Callaway
let
headquarters.
You on the course.
Well, actually, they didn't even get money out of it, and the regular fee is quite expensive. I was with a Callaway golf employee, so I didn't have to pay the full price. Ha-ha! Got you there, California. I'm not anti-California. And y'all can keep coming. It's driving up the price of Bolen Media headquarters.
True.
We appreciate that.
If you're a Californian and a doctor, Ross wants to punch you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it. We have one more call. You want to play it? Let's do it.
What up, Ross?
What up?
What up, Jared? Yo, this is Adam from Denver in the 5 Points area. You know that fucking, like, South Park episode? Like, the Crips versus Bloods and shit?
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's not entirely accurate, but, like, that's where I live, man. And I gotta go take my dog out, and I have to be strapped, bro. Like,
Okay.
my car just got broken into last night.
Oh, shit.
You know, it's not the first time either. You know, these motherfuckers ain't fucking around here, bro. Like, I just thought y'all would understand. Dude, fucking rest in peace. DMX, bro. X gonna get some. And fucking love the pod, bro. Gang, gang.
I think he was going for X gon' give it to you, but he went with X gon' get some, which was hysterical, as was the entire call. I'm not sure what spurred that, but this is something that recently occurred to me. And it's something that in the whole, like, gun rights argument that I just in general stay the fuck away from in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much of a nightmare. Like, I have too many friends who hunt. I just avoid it at all costs. Well, one of the things that I've learned and realized and now have a great deal of respect for is that there are a lot of people who straight up have to be strapped. Not because they love guns or they're some kind of gun nut or because they want to break the law or make anybody else feel uncomfortable, because they literally have to protect themselves on a day-to-day basis. And if you're thinking like, if you're talking about like people who live in bad neighborhoods, no. Not just people who live in bad neighborhoods, people who live in bad circumstances. And there's a lot of these throughout the world. Police officers are familiar with many of them. So it just is one of those things where the more I learn, the more I'm like, because that's just something that to me, it had never really sunk in that like there are like a lot of places in America where when you wake up, you feel like you better be strapped to operate. Like to operate, which is it throws in this very complicated element to, well, I don't know, just the whole society really.
Mm-hmm.
So that dude being one of them. Got to go walk the dog. Better grab the 9.
You know, I keep the thing on me.
You know who else keeps the thing on him? Rick Perry.
Does he really?
Yeah, I just always think about that story. He went jogging when he was, gearing up to run for president and forget his own platform and then subsequently drop out of the race. And he pulled a laser-sighted pistol on a coyote while he was jogging and shot it dead.
Why did he bring a laser-sighted pistol with him? For the coyote?
Because he's Rick fucking Perry, and he rolls with a laser-sighted pistol at all times.
That's kind of badass.
Yeah, it's super badass. It's like fucking Elon Musk / James Bond put together, rolled into one.
Imagine if
That's how everybody thinks of Rick Perry.
If Elon Musk heard you compare him to Rick Perry, the Secretary of Energy.
What was he really?
Yes. He was Trump's Secretary of Energy.
How did we do with energy during the Trump era under Rick's guide?
I don't know. We didn't do great.
I got a
now.
Tesla. That was helpful. They did. I feel like that's a win.
Do you have like a tax credit for having a Tesla?
You know, you don't really anymore. It's not like in Texas anyway. It's not like it was before. But you do get a tax credit from God for saving the planet
How do you file that?
when you get to the pearly gates. It's one of the things I got to turn in, my Tesla papers.
You get like an extra heaven coin
Yeah.
to get like a.
Use it the heaven slot machine. You know what comes out of it? Angel cum.
I thought it was quasi froyo.
All right, we're out of here. We'll be back Wednesday with another episode. But if you're craving one between now and then, or even many, you can hop on Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast and listen to more episodes now. Ad-free episodes that come out every Friday and are generally more unhinged than these episodes even somehow. And I would make everyone remember, when we hit 10,000 patrons on Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, which we're getting closer to each and every day, I will be getting the Slim Thug Houston tattoo across my back, which for those unfamiliar is just a giant Houston, the word Houston, Houston, across his entire back from shoulder to shoulder. When we hit 10,000 patrons on Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, I will get that tattoo. And if you're thinking, that's a joke, no you won't. Yes, I fucking will. This is me saying it on the record, legally and binding, that if we hit 10,000 patrons on Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, I will actually get that tattoo on my back. It's not a joke, it's a challenge. And that's all I have to say about that, Jared.
I have a question.
Nope. Okay, what?
And how long does it have to be 10,000 2 months in a row? Because somebody.
No, if we hit that number, period.
Because somebody could game the system, right?
How?
Well, they could right now. I mean, they could. We need like 9,000 more. So they could do, what's 9,000 times 5?
$45,000.
So somebody could give us $45,000, make a bunch of accounts and do that. And so essentially, somebody who had deep pockets could just pay $45,000. Maybe
to
they
make me get that tattoo.
Yeah. You're essentially saying, if somebody asked you right now, Roz, how much would it cost you to get the, you just gave your price of $45,000.
Okay.
Does that sound too low?
I'm trying to decide, so I think no. I think that means I'm good.
Okay.
45 grand, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck. That tax free? Nope.
No,
Shit.
it is because you get the tattoo paid for by the company's content, right?
Am I content now? Have I become content?
Yes.
I am content. I'm not even team content anymore. I just am content.
Because here's the issue. Like, if you, 45, that would be great if it was 10,000 for a year, right? But like, what if it's just a calculated, organized scheme to get 10,000 patrons for 1 month and then they all leave after that?
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't think anybody's going to go through all that effort. I'm not worried about it. Happy birthday, Aaron Mobley, coming up on the 12th. Shouts to you and your brother. Also, shouts to Permanent Record in Austin, Texas, to Mike Moody, Grant Davis, Mariah Gossett, and the crew for helping keep us afloat the last couple years until we could get here. They are incredible, Permanent Record. And if you're ever looking to record a podcast in Austin, that is absolutely who you should holler at. Permanent Record Studios in Austin, Texas will take care of you. Mike Moody and Grant Davis and Mariah Gossett are awesome. Again, they've been huge for us the past couple years, making sure that we could get all our shows done when we needed them and get them turned around quick and back up so y'all could listen to them during the pandemic, during the whole me having to start my own company thing and doing it solo for a little bit there. And now we are here, and we are very, very happy for that. So follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter. TikTok's at the Ross Bolen Podcast. Instagram's at the Ross Bolen Podcast. Twitter's at Ross Bolen Pod. Follow Jared everywhere at Jared Borislow. Twitch.tv/Sir Jbone to get him on Twitch. I'm Twitch.tv/Boss Rollin to get me on Twitch, and at WR Bolen on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast for additional ad-free Friday episodes every Friday, exclusively on Patreon, right there for supporters of the show. Give me that tattoo, baby. I want it.
I got 2 final things.
Say them.
Number 1, shouts to Cameron McCollum on graduating Penn State.
Big shouts.
Number 2, thank you guys for having the ratings and reviews rolling in on Apple Podcasts.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming, baby.
Here's one we just got on Saturday. Nipples. 5 stars from Coro Bloom.
Beautiful.
This pod tweaks my nipples.
Wow. See?
Rate us, review us on Apple Podcasts. Be huge. Make it funny, but make it really helpful if somebody was going to actually decide based on your review whether they should listen to the show or not. Boom.
And that's a win-win-win. Hit that sheesh button, Jared.
Please clap.
Shit.
That's not it. First try was a miss. Let's see here if we can get number 2 down. Congratulations to Japan. That's not it. That's congratulations to Japan. It's the green one. We'll be back Wednesday. Y'all have a great Monday and Tuesday. Peace. Sheesh.